Hello, 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 hello to all of my wonderful friends today, all across this big, marvelous, wonderful, majestic world, from the east to the west, the north to the south, all of my wonderful friends. I send out love and peace and season's greetings at this wonderful time of year. I send you my biggest, warmest hugs, and I send you my biggest hearts of love. Oh, yes, and peace and hearts of love and peace and power and healing. I send out healing power to raise you up out of all illness and to raise you up out of all sickness and to plant your feet upon the ground of joy and power and dominion and give you joy in your life. Oh, yes, and this is such a wonderful time of year for that, because this is the time of year when we commemorate the time when that Christ child was sent and when it was first demonstrated to this earth just how vast was that unconditional, unfeigned, uninterrupted, unquestionable, unended, absolute love of divine mind, infinite mind, God our source. And it was all just poured out upon us at this Christmas season, and it brought joy to the world. The Lord has come, and it brought peace, goodwill toward men. Oh, yes, because of that inestimable, unquestionable, unconditional, and unfeigned love. And then, as he grew up and walked the earth, that same unconditional, unfeigned, uninterrupted love served to heal and open the eyes of the blind and raise the lame people up to walk. And it served to heal all, caused all types of diseases and illnesses to be healed. Oh, yes, by the power of that unquestionable, unconditional, unfeigned love. And so, at this time of year, when we express that love to our loved ones and to our family, we should keep in mind just how much power there really is in this type of love. And we should remember to express that fully to all of our loved ones and friends and all the people around us. Express that not only in gift giving, but in every other way. Because that unconditional, unfeigned, uninterrupted love has the power to heal and bring joy and bring power and dominion into our lives. And so we understand also that the significance of all of this unconditional love is that there's no interruption in good or in joy or in happiness or peace or power of any kind or any dominion of any kind or victory in our lives of any kind. And therefore there's no will of God that says anyone should be sick or ill, or anyone should be in pain at all, but the will of God is peace and power and joy and happiness to everyone on the face of the earth. Prosperity and abundance and peace and power and love to every single human being on this face of the earth. See, that is the will of God. Oh, yes. And so we need to stop and realize just how much that signifies and just what all that should mean. And then we can rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. that is now and forever your choice. Make the choice, make the choice, make the choice to rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. And we should always rejoice. Oh, every time, all days of the year, not just on Christmas, but we should always rejoice about that unconditional, inseparable, uninterrupted, unquestionable, unending love, which we are never from a moment separated from. And what we realize then, well, that will do for us. But that shows then that there are actually no conditions other than perfect love, joy, and perfect health in our real being. When we think about what our real being is, then we know that our real being exists in perfection and total love and total joy and total perfect health and all of those things. And so therefore, in our real human being, there's our real being, the real us, there's actually nothing that would be deserving of anything less than unconditional love. So the reason why we believe that we may not be unconditionally loved by some people is because we feel like we do not realize who we really are as a perfect, coexistent child of God, son of God, perfect one with God, perfect one. And so then we begin to realize, as we begin to realize that, then these illusions are thrown off and the limited thinking is thrown off, and therefore we're able to feel that unquestionable, unconditional, unfeigned love of God that will heal us. Fears, then the fears that we have, all of the fears that we have are really so much doubt of the unconditional love of God. And when we really get to where we understand, fully understand that unconditional love of God, all of our fears will just drop off. And all of our illusions will drop off. Our illusions of anything less than complete and perfect love will just drop off. And so this means that there can be no more fear and no more less than full joy. And the significance of all of this is, what we need to realize is that the significance of the real and full implication of all of this wonderful love that is contained in infinite mind and is contained in that omnipotent omnipresence of love. As we begin to fully understand it, it will give us huge amounts of that real energy and strength which we need, and that real healing power which we need. So we have to come to understand all of these things which I mentioned, to understand fully what is meant by unconditional love, and what is meant by unfeigned love, and what is meant by uninterrupted love, and what is meant by unquestionable love, and what is meant by unending love, and just how unending it is, and just how unquestionable it is, and just how good it is, and just how lasting it is, and just how powerful it is, and just how much it is sown into this universe, and how vast is the love of God, and how far and wide is the love of God, and how oceanic is the love of God. And then we begin to get an understanding of those huge amounts of energy and strength which are contained in that love of God. And this realization then should totally fire up our intense interest, and our powerful, energetic creativity should be stimulated, and our overall joy and energy should be lifted up by that every time we stop and we think and we realize just how vast is that love of God, and just how unconditional. Not just that it is unconditional, but just how unconditional it is. Then that should cause us to rejoice with so much power that it will form such an exciting, energetic, and enthusiastic and powerful peace and joy within us that we can do whatever we need to do, and we can heal anything. The solid awareness then of this omnipotence and omnipresence of all encompassing love, all encircling. See, the love of God is all encircling, circles this entire universe, and it's all encompassing. And that solid awareness that we can get, the more solid we can get our awareness into tune with that, and the more we can realize just how all powerful that is and all present that is, see, then the more solid energy and solid awareness that we will have, and we can become much more of a healing force in this world, a much more instrument of change in this world, and a much more authority in our leadership ability to do wonderful things for this world. And so, enough awareness then of these things equals enough energy. And so if we're looking for energy, then we need to raise our awareness. And if we're looking for that which will bring us healing and health and reverse aging and uncover that tremendous healing power and that ability to heal power, heal people with power and authority, then we should look that much more to this unconditional love of God and think about how we ourselves can go about expressing more of this unconditional love of God, and therefore spreading that healing power. The resurrection power then, where John speaks about in speaking about Jesus saying, I am the resurrection and the life. This resurrection power, the resurrection power is that unconditional love. That unconditional love is one with the resurrection power and creates that resurrection power within us. And it is present at all points in time and space, and is always present with us to resurrect energy and power at any time. So we then should relax solidly on the total awareness of complete, substantive, and solid love and energy. Rest upon that love. Just say, okay, I realize right now that I am loved with an unconditional love, with an all-powerful love, with an unended love, with uninterrupted love. That love for me will never be interrupted at any point in time throughout eternity, and I will never be let down by that love, and it will never cease, and it never be interrupted even in the least way, and I will always have the same amount of that love from my source, God, infinite mind, and so then I'll always have the joy of knowing that, and I'll always have the energy that comes from that joy, and therefore I'll always have the peace that comes from that joy and that love and that energy. So then all good things are bound to become more and more to me and more in my direction. So then that solid love and energy and that buoyant and overwhelming joy is present in every second of time and in every location, and we can stop at any time and get more the understanding of more of it at any time we want to. We can become more aware of it at any time. We can get under that spout where the glory comes out and receive more understanding of just how vast that love is, and just how wonderful the meaning of Christmas actually is, and what all it really meant to us for the Christ to come. And any time we can do that, and doing this wholeheartedly is going to increasingly produce vast energy and creative power and healing power in your life. And so we need to think about that. More energy and creative power then is yours right now. The energy has already been given to you. The healing has already been given to you. The power has already been given to you because of that unconditional love. If there was a condition on that love, then you might say, well, maybe I didn't receive the healing. Maybe I didn't receive the power. Maybe I didn't receive the same joy someone else received. But since it is unconditional and uninterrupted love, you received all of the same joy and power and peace and healing that anyone else did. And all you have to do is lift your awareness to it. And I will talk to you more on tomorrow's video. Have